just arrived at the Izimvilo Wildlife Training Facility. Took us about an hour's drive through the bush to get here. Pretty harsh conditions getting here, saw a lot of wildlife. We're going to be accompanying the game rangers and watch them do some of their live weapons fire training today. It's what they call a jungle lane. So we'll see the rangers exactly how they train to combat the poaching that's going on in this country. The rangers will be conducting the jungle lane, part of the training today. Each ranger gets equipped with 20 rounds of ammunition for a full day's of training. That really is doing more with less. The rangers will be expected to move quietly, observe, look for targets, engage moving targets, and also discriminate between shoot and no-shoot targets.
We're doing the jungle lane shooting, where we're sharpening guys if they are working in the bush. We need to see how sharp they are, because they might come across the ambush and all that stuff. The shooting exercises that they are doing, it helps them to notice any movement in the bush, unusual things in the bush. As you see, we're hiding some targets.
These game rangers in South Africa face a unique threat. Most of the poachers they come across have had military training and are well equipped. It's not unusual for them to be involved in armed encounters that are ever increasing. It is definitely becoming a war out there.
The application of our skills to combat rhino poaching has become more and more militarized, and so has our training. So we spend a lot of time focusing on rural training skills that are applicable in a rural environment. Our operational area is a bush environment. Although as these operations morph, we are spending some time now in urbanized environments. Our training is, we rely heavily on some very basic fundamentals, some of them being tracking, good rifle skills, camouflage and concealment, and then aggression, controlled aggression training in the form of ambushes and observation posts and listening posts at night.
What's friend said to me, we weren't able to save the last dinosaurs, but this is a dinosaur we can save. We need all the contributions and all the effort from everybody worldwide to protect our heritage and inevitably the world heritage.
As we've been raising awareness about the rhino poaching problem in South Africa and Africa in general, very often the topic turns to, what we're doing down there and how we're trying to help. And obviously one of the topic comes up is the DS Arms rifles that they supply down there. People start asking me about that. They don't really know much about it. So I thought I'd briefly touch on some of the points that may be of interest to people. This is basically the SA-58 variant of the FAL, produced by DS Arms in Barrington. It's a completely US-made rifle. This particular rifle is the para-folding model, and is actually designed around the spec given to us by a wildlife agency that we supply down there. One of the interesting topics is that the FAL was probably the most prolific weapon that went up against the AK-47 during the Cold War. It was adopted by over 93 countries, and pretty much the only place it's not very well known is the United States. So the FAL basically was seen heavy service in Africa, and as a result the game rangers ended up being armed with these rifles. Some of the rifles in the field are over 50 years old, and they still keep running. So this is a testament to the design and the reliability. This particular rifle was designed to their specification. It's about 9.1 pounds, which is fairly light for a .308 battle rifle. It's fed by a 20-round box magazine, and it's the original piston-driven system. Why this rifle is so suited to the needs of the Rangers, that it's exceptionally rugged. These rifles can be dropped. They often get stood on. In fact, we've seen cases where vehicles ride over them, and the rifle is not going to be put out of service. Exceptional reliability. They cannot afford to have weapons malfunction in the field because it's basically like a mini war zone out there. And then, of course, the ergonomics and the ease of operation that they've already been trained on. It's a very natural pointing rifle, and it's also very easy to move very quickly with. So that's why it's a favorite, and they really don't want to entertain any other kind of rifle designs.